Yeah, go ahead.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Yeah. So we continue on that time. Let's see where we stopped that time, I guess. Tell me where we stopped that time.
Well done. This is a fixed day. Okay. So these 10, let's see how prize weight and time about that we can see by there's no nature to sustain. We read that, I think, that is the rupa. Thus, a single rupa can either be killed or not be killed. Yeah, okay. Oh, great king, there are two kinds of karmic results. One that is, we did light and gray.
We did the one already.
Yeah, we did the rishi one. We did the madness part.
Yeah, we did the madness one. Right.
Is true. Very king in a dream. One enjoys bliss of the five relations and colors true. I see through it. We've gone through that paragraph as well. Let's see. Killing or vehicle, but you have no sin. You king or vehicle. Okay, good king. Has to kill sheep. Okay, there you go. That's I believe where we stopped.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, great king. You always give orders in your royal palace to kill sheep, and you have no fear in mind. How is it that you entertain fear only when you kill your father? We say respectable and disrespectable as between man and animal, but both equally love life and fear death. In this there is no difference. Why is it that your mind is light when you have killed sheep, and that you fear greatly when you have killed your father? O great king, man is a servant of craving and is not free. Driven by craving, a person commits the act of killing. There can be karmic results, but craving is to answer, is responsible. You, king, feel molested or oppressed, but who is to blame? O great king, for example, nirvana is no is and is not a not is. Yet it is an is. The same applies to killing. Though not is and not is, it is yet an is. It is not is with the person who repents. It is not is with the person who feels no repentance. One who harvests the karmic consequences calls this is. One who sees void regards it as not is. For one who holds the worldview of is, it is not is. And for one who bases himself on the is theory, it is and is. Why? Because a person of this worldview reaps karmic results. A person who upholds the worldview that there is no is reaps no karmic results. For a person who holds the worldview of the eternal oneness of is existence, it is not is. For a person who holds the non-eternal oneness theory, it is not is. For a person of the eternal theory, it cannot be not is. Why not? Because a person of this eternal theory harvests an evil karma. Hence, for a person of this eternal theory, it cannot be not is. For this reason, not is and not is are is. O great king, now beings speak of an exhaling, inhaling breath. When we cut off the exhaling and inhaling breath, there is death. All Buddhas follow the way of life of the lay and say that there is killing.
Yeah, good. Stop there. Did that confuse you enough?
Well, I think the first 3/4 of it are pretty clear. And then the last 1/4 is understandable, but I think I just kind of need to go slower through it to follow what it's saying. So yeah, the top is saying that humans are servants of craving, and craving drives people to commit acts such as killing, and that craving is responsible for the killing.
Mm.
So, and he says, okay, Ajatasatru, you feel oppressed or molested, but who is to blame? And then begins to explain what he's thinking. So the state of nirvana, he says, is not a fixed thing. So it's not is. It's not a like a thing that you can point to with a definite beginning and end. But it's also not something that it can't be said to not exist at all, because there is a reason for referring to nirvana. There is a state that the term nirvana is referring to, but it just can't be like, it can't be fixed or defined as some entity that you can totally get around, a beginning and an end to it. So it's not is, but it's also not is. And I think we could say existent maybe would be the same as is, but at the same time it does exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can really say this of anything, because there is a relative reason to name anything, any phenomena.
Mm.
But in another way, it's like, well, it doesn't, that's separate, it doesn't exist as a separate phenomena.
Mm.
So he's saying the same applies to killing, with saying that there's some nuance when they're talking about killing. So this is the exact same thing we said for nirvana. And how someone experiences their reality depends upon their state of consciousness, and the views that they hold. So he's saying that killing is in this not is state when a person repents. So it is not as with the person who repents, meaning that it's like there is no killing in a sense, because the person is not holding on to the causes of killing. They're repenting from the killing, and they're wishing to be freed of those causes of killing. And so it's a different state of consciousness than someone who feels no repentance. So for them, it's not is. So in that sense, the killing is real. It's a real thing, and they still harbor the causes for future killing. And so one who like receives the karma of killing will see, experiences the killing as is, because they're getting a consequence from it. And someone who sees void regards it as not is. Now, void, if someone really sees void, then even when they're receiving
What is void?
Void would be
Emptiness.
no, yeah, kind of very,
Nothingness, maybe.
yeah, no marks, no distinction, no measure at all. Not black, not white, nothing to regard. So if someone is seeing all things as void, well, then even if there is something that someone else would experience as bad, like a karmic retribution from killing, that person who's viewing all things as void, they would not even see that as good or bad. They would see, if they see all phenomena as void, they're all going to be of equal weight to them.
Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's go from beginning. Okay. The Buddha at the beginning said that when you order your royal palace to kill the sheep, you have no fear, you enjoy. But when you kill your father, why you fear, right? That the Buddha tried to compare the father and the seed. And also he said that, well, because both they do fear and they love their life, right? They want to live. No one want to die, right? So what the difference? And come to here, when your mind is light, when you kill the seed, and that you feel greatly when you kill your, okay, let's see. So basically, the driving force for killing is craving. So the act of killing is, if we claim, we should claim on kill the craving, not the person. That's what the Buddha tried to say, right? So this is one of the madness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? And now here the Buddha said that, okay, nirvana is no is and it's not a not is. Okay, basically, if we are the ordinary person and we have not yet get to that state, well, doesn't matter what the other people explain to us. We have no idea what does that state look like, right? Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that means to us, it's it's no eat, and but but even though it's no eat, but it's not no eat, right? So basically, well, even though when you see the electricity, before we don't have we no one know about electricity, right? We have no idea electricity is there, but when the person be able to discover and they understand the principle of the electricity and they know how to make the electricity to become visible to human eye. Then before that is now no ease, right? But now it's ease, that right? To the human, you see. So basically, the one who see things as real, that is ease for them. But the one is not sitting at real. So those things is illusion, that is not no is. So when we come down to and the thing we go down to here, this word rip comet result. Okay, well, all right here. For the one who hold the world view of ease, it is not ease. Okay, for the one who the world at real or the world at ease, right? That means they think at real. But the Buddha and the Bodhisattva said that everything in this world is illusion. It's not real, but we see things as real. So to those people, it's ease, right? But to the Buddha, it's not ease. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we come to here. Now, for the one who based on himself and is theory, it is. So if we are the one holding that theory, well, that becomes real. That means is. Why? Because a person of this world view rip comet result. Okay, let's say that when we pray karma, we don't see things because we have not seen the comet retribution yet. Then we don't think it's ease, right? It's not ease, right? But when the comet result become different, and they are the one who substand the suffering of that result, right? Now the one they see it's not ease before, it is ease right now. I hope I say correctly.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, maybe they recognize the significance when they reap the karmic consequence.
Because before, when the that's why ignorant people like us, when we pray, this right, we care less about the result. So because to them the result is not easy yet. It's not easy yet, right? But one day receive the retribution, that is easy for them. Okay. So in here, and also that's why the habit of an evil karma hence for a person of this eternal theory, it cannot be not Eve. Okay, if the one holding the eternal theory, well, that is not Eve. That cannot be not Eve because they think it's Eve, right? They think it's Eve. But to the one who have wisdom, it's not Eve. So come down here, oh great king, now begin speak of an exhale, inhale, breath. When you cut off the inhale and exhale breath, there is death. So our Buddha said the way of life of the lay and say that they killing. So basically killing is based on the inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale of what? Of the body of the five skandha or the five aggregate body, right? Does that make sense? Because the five aggregate, that means it's the form, the feeling, the perception, mental formation, and consciousness, right? And yesterday we talked about we distinct about the brain and the consciousness, and the consciousness in this case is alaya consciousness. But when we still alive, when we do all things, we see things, we hear things, we taste things, we smell things, we touch things, right? It is, right? But to the Buddha or to the Bodhisattva, it's not is. So therefore, when we pass away, right, when we die, basically, because we cut off because our inhale and exhale have been cut off, right? No more inhale and exhale. So there is no brain activity during that time. Therefore, this is called death. And the death is basically we killing what? Killing the body, not the alaya consciousness. So the Buddha tried to say that because the alaya consciousness is the one who controls entire body, the emotion, the five sense, as well the everything related to emotion here and there, and the movement. But when the body is it no longer function, and I mean we call that, then the alaya consciousness is the one who move on. So when the one say you were killing, so basically killing is just killing the five aggregate body and mental that are. The same thing the Buddha said that when we kill the seed or we kill the human, it's the same thing we kill the five aggregate of that animal of that human. But if we do not realize the Dharma yet, that means the karmic retribution come to us. That is for them. So they will be rebirth into the lower realm. So they have the lower realm of the five aggregate body, right, and mental. And that is the time they see it is. When we still are human, we don't think that all the state of realm, different realm, right? We don't see that. When we say it's not real, it's not is. But human is is. But one, we in that realm, because due to our bad karma, before it's not is, right now it's is. I hope I don't confuse you.
No, I follow. I follow.
Okay. So the whole idea here, the Buddha tried to teach us see things as real or illusion. That is determined is or not is, depend on where our perspective. Now we be able to listen to the Buddha Dharma. We be able to understand how to view things in the proper way. So when we view things in the whole world, all phenomenon in this world is impermanent. and have no self. That means no real self within them. Therefore, it's illusion. So when we understand that, then we will be able to repent and we be able to move on. And that means the illusion is it will have, they don't have the strength to hold us down or to put us down when we have the faith in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, and that's how we be able to transform our alaya consciousness. That's how we change the retribution for the outcome in the future. Instead of the bad outcome, we will have a better, and not bad at all, even better, even good, depend on the condition that we are cultivate right now. Okay. I know when we read this thing, if we don't understand the consonant only, the Mahayana teaching, it's very tough to understand. If we try to use our mind and try to distinguish here and there, we will easily stuck into the word, right? The term. So reading the Mahayana teaching don't based on the word by word. It will not help us to understand it. But when we use the word, but we reflect and understand the core principle. That the holding, that means the implicit meaning under that. That is the important, the more important than that. There the Buddha said that if we explain the Dhamma word by word in the sutra, this is how we slander the Buddha of three periods. The past Buddha, the present, and the future. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
But if we expound the Dhamma, do not based on the sutra, this is the same thing with the demon speaking. So we have to be very careful. For example, one of the stories, there was a Brahmin, right? He holding, he worshipped the God as the creator for whole life. But near death, right? He have a doubt that whatever he did for the whole life, is that proper? He came to see the Buddha. He wanted to make sure that the Buddha give him the answer that he can be able to move on. Well, when he asked the Buddha, is God real in this world? The Buddha said no. Okay, in the morning that the Buddha said to this Brahmin, and in the evening they another Brahmin, but he ate it. That means he do not believe in God, and he did not worship God at all. But by near death, right, he have a doubt that whatever he believed for the whole life, is that true? So he wanted to come and to make sure that to, get the way of advice from the Buddha. And so he come and ask the Buddha, what on one? So there ain't no God in this world, right? So the Buddha said, yes, there is God. So later on, Ananda, after they each one of them go, they are gone, right? So the Ananda asked the Buddha, In the morning, you reply, no God. In the afternoon, you say God. So what is is there any conflict? What do you think about this story then?
It seems that there could be expedient means, and what does the Buddha see as benefiting each of these people? Because um, in one way, there can be said to be no individual existing things, so that wouldn't be false to say that that God doesn't exist. But then, from another way, we can say, yeah, we're speaking relatively, then there is existence of individual beings. And so whichever aspect helped the person, I would think, is what the Buddha would say. So if they were attached to the existence of a God, then they should be confronted with the non-existence. If they were attached to the non-existence, they should be confronted with the existence, because ideally we don't build our house on either of those, the existence or non-existence. We just, in a sense, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, the reason, yeah, you get into the right direction. So basically, the Buddha said that, well, depend on the sickness, right? Because this person in the morning, he the one who attached so much about God. So when I said no, it helped him to reflect into his own nature. Okay. So that one he be able to look within his own nature, he will understand. And for the evening person, the Buddha said yes, because this person he do not believe in the law of cause and effect as well, right? So we'll help him to understand that, well, you look in your own nature and you will see it. So basically, it's a experience mean to help them. So if we only hear one side of the story, and we hold on to the word by word of the Buddha, this is not the Buddha one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why in the Mahayana Sutra we have to be very careful when we look at the text, right? It's word by word. Sometimes Buddha doesn't mean that, but it means more profound meaning behind that. That important. So that's like the thing we read right now is and not is. It's really confused if we don't understand the profound teaching of the Buddha at the beginning. And it's very tough to use the language to explain. Language cannot help. If we do not understand the profound teaching, language cannot help. The more language we use, the more we stuck. But when you understand the core teaching, then we do not need to stuck on the word by word. But we can go from the top to into it. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Hopefully, no any question from that.
No, I think I understand.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. I think it to the Western people, this will be a little bit tough if they do not have the basic Buddhism.
Yes, because generally if we're reading something, we want to have understanding, and if it doesn't make sense the first read, then it makes sense to go in and look at the individual words and try to follow the turns of logic. But in this sort of thing, it could be easy to get lost in it. I think it does require some initial understanding in order for it to, to not get lost in the logic of it.
Yeah, you've been learning with me for since 2019 September. It's more than almost 3.5 years already.
Yeah.
And you see that Thang Như, right, yesterday, she came in and I have to spend a lot of time to explain to her about the concept of the consciousness only, because she have not learned this thing, not at all.
Yeah.
But once she be able to pick it up and understand it and see, and later on she can use this knowledge to learn the Mahayana teaching, that she will be able to appreciate the Buddha teaching even greater.
Yeah, she's done a lot of reading. I think she's read through the Surangama multiple
Right.
times.
Mm.
She's read through the Lotus Sutra multiple times. So, yeah.
But that is the good seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't mean that when you read multiple times, doesn't mean that you understand it.
True.
Okay. You remember in the sixth patriarch Wenang, right? They one of the master came and pay respect to the Wenang Patrick, right? But when he bowed down, right, he did not bow down all the way. His head is not yet touched the floor, the ground. And the patriarch asked him, "What wrong? What in you? What in you that? What wrong with you? What in you?" And the patriarch asked him daily, "What is your practice?" And he said that he recited the Lotus Sutra every day, and he recited 3,000 times already. 3,000 times, but you cannot be able to bow down all the way. That means he still have the self, the ego. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've heard it described before as like the ego can co-opt any activity.
Mm-hmm.
So anything we do, we can just be in a competition about being the holiest.
Mm-hmm.
I think Master Swanhua said it really well. He said, if you the one way to be sure that you're not better than anyone else is if you think you are. If you think you're not better than anyone else,
Then you're good.
then maybe you're better. Like maybe is the way he said it. That was a pretty cool device.
That's right.
So if
That's
ever
right.
we find ourselves doing that, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's a
Amen.
fault in and of itself.
I witnessed a lot of people like this. They recite to the great compassion mantra or Samgara mantra a lot every day. Maybe 108 for the great compassion, or 21 or 108 of that mantra. So they are very proud of themselves. And they use that at the accomplice of prowling. And you know what? They call that. Usually these people do not understand the profound teaching of the Dhamma.
Yeah, I think like the British say, that's a bit of a sticky wicket. Yeah, it's like purchasing pride sometimes. Practice can sometimes accidentally be purchasing pride.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's why they've been the Dhamma turned them instead of they turn the Dhamma, right? I don't know how to use the word. That means the Dhamma control them instead of they control the Dhamma. Right? Because the Dhamma control you, that means you become arrogant.
Mm.
But when you, the one who understand the Dhamma and be able to, that means you don't allow the Dhamma to control you. Then control by the number.
Yeah. I might have said it a little different. I think the idea is the same because it like I might say it like the pattern of adding to ourselves, like building ourselves up to try to be greater or better or significant in some way or special in some way. that is one of the marks of like the manas consciousness, of self-love, like proving,
Right.
I need to prove that I am better in these ways, and my opinion or my view is best. And then we can use all sorts of things to do that. Like we could use a car or a house or a charming personality, or the fact that we recite the Lotus Sutra.
No, for the normal, for the common people, they have arrogance, it's okay. Because they do not know Buddhism, right? They do not understand the Dharma. That is okay. But for the one who practice the Dharma, and usually they go by the number, and they're so proud, and they've been controlled by those number. That is not good. But when, yes, you do a lot, but do not proud on those things, you'll be controlled by your arrogance. That is the proper way. Nothing wrong with the number, but it's you.
Yeah. It seems like maybe even in the beginning, a little bit of that is valuable, so long as someone like makes the transition through it, because maybe originally they want to prove something, so they say, okay, I'm going to do this 108 times, but ideally in the process of it, they see something, they learn something where they get that, like letting go of the number part. But maybe that's
Usually,
what gets them in the door.
but for those people, when they see the state of the mind at the time they practice, they're very easy attached to it. Because that is achievement, they think. And that is very dangerous.
I think I had this happen to me back in high school. I spent the whole summer like planning my day around meditation, and I totally cut off all connections with everybody, including my family. I didn't go to family events, stayed at my mom's house, never talked to my dad, like never saw him, didn't spend any time with friends. I would wake up, I would meditate, I would do some stretches, I would have breakfast, go for a walk, read sutras, meditate, lunch, like, and just do every day. And it was blissful. It was beautiful.
Wow, that's good. That's really good.
There was like, I felt like every day was better than the best vacation I'd ever been on.
That's good.
And
Really good.
everything was whole and complete in a sense. But then when I had to go back to school, I was so attached to all of these like daily rhythms, all of these daily activities, and to the mind state that came along with it, that I totally fell apart, because the loss of that mind state was so deep. It like wouldn't have been a problem if I hadn't experienced it. But I couldn't do that anymore. I had to wake up and get ready and go to school, and then sit in class in these uncomfortable chairs, and it was rough. I started getting really rigid and like holding on to rules, trying to take on more and more precepts to like compensate for it, and just really like grinding myself down. That's why I ended up seeing a therapist, is because I just got a Zen master recommended that I go see one.
Is that the one advise you to see the Indian woman?
No, it was the Zen place I was at. The visiting Zen master recommended I see a therapist. I asked some of the people at the Zen center if they knew anyone who had a Buddhist background. And one of them recommended a therapist who used to sit at that Zen center with them. And he was not really, he wasn't working with any Buddhist teachers at the time. He was working with that Indian guru. So it was the therapist that ended up connecting me with the Indian guru. Yeah. So it ended up being a little different than maybe the Zen master intended.
Yeah, but actually you really have a lot of blessing that you be able to be able to break the past that you encounter. That's a good thing. So you'll be able to go back to your original nature.
Yes, yeah, I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy.
That when
My
will that happen? What year?
um I met Saima in my junior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
So I got into Buddhism. I first started learning and practicing when I was at the end of 8th grade.
Mm,
And then it was in my sophomore year when I began to really kind of struggle with trying to, like, the summer after, the summer before sophomore year is when I had that experience. And then, yeah, I started seeing the therapist like late sophomore year, and probably, sometime around there, junior years, when I started working with that Indian guru. And
mm.
then for like 7 years, I
Oh,
would
shit.
always still have the Buddhist teachings in my mind, and I would be trying to explain like her actions or match them up, because there's some flexibility in bodhisattvas and their activity.
Mm.
And a lot of her appearance was of helping people. And but what's the motivation, of course, and we've talked about that quite a bit. Of the wrong motivation, generosity is just like a demon's actions. um
The gold digger.
I hesitate to judge, but that was the thing that came back again and again, is, why do you cultivate up people giving all these gifts? Why are you wearing silks? Why are you not like recommending people not to eat meat? So it did seem to be tied up with wealth and
7 year. You stuck in that for 7 years.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. I think that you have a very good Buddhist seed, especially for the Bodhicitta in the past life, and also you have a very good Buddhist knowledge in the past life. That's why you'll be able to use that knowledge to go through this path, and you'll be able to you broke the pattern, and you'll be able to go back. That is a big blessing you have. It's not easy. I saw a lot of people when they walk on that path, they stuck it, they cannot be able to get out for the rest of their life. It happened in Vietnamese community a lot.
Sorry, Thầy, may I ask a question, Thầy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Sorry, William. I never, I rarely participate on the class because my English is not real good. But when I hear the story from you, I'm curious. Before you decide to go to the meditation for everything, at the time you had any problem with your life, or you just decide, oh, I want to go, or you have some bad thing happen to you, and then you decide to go.
In 8th grade.
Yeah, and eighth grade, yeah.
Yeah, I was suspended from school for the last 8 weeks. I was my mom lived across from school, and at the time I was hanging out with some friends that we weren't good influences on each other. We were like, we'd stay up late and like vandalize stuff. I From like age 12 I started smoking marijuana. I was a really good student though, like I had straight A's, but it was
So basically, when the people suffer a lot, they the thing they believe right now or in the past cannot help them, right? To release the suffering they have. So basically, they want to turn over something that can be able to help them. So eventually, somehow they have an affinity with Buddhism in the past, so they be able to connect it, and one day be able to see the Buddha teaching become very helpful to help them to release a lot of suffering. And that is a good thing because that will help them to have a strong faith. This is a good thing. But the people, other different type of people is the one who know Buddhism, but they are very good in practice, but they also have a desire for the achievement of spiritual in magic. You know what I mean? So they seek for the power of those things. And this is very dangerous. And because of that craving, that just like you when you do the fishing, right? You need to have the bait, right? Right? Without the bait, you cannot fish. So the craving is the bait. Once you be able to, once you hook into it, they will get you. Because when we have affinity with them and we come with craving, oh, we will stuck with them for a long time. The reason is they use some kind of black magic we don't know to hold us into it, to control us. This is very dangerous. This is happen a lot in the Vietnamese community. And the one who recite the great compassion mantra so much and they proud on it, and they do not because they want to have the miracle. That is not the proper way of thinking. That mindset should not be like that. Well, we recite the mantra because we have faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha help us to cleanse our karma and to move on, and to help us to develop the love and kindness and compassion. That's the core of our practice. Not those things. Those things is no need. If we sincerely practice, those things come naturally. And nothing to be proud of, to be attached to. So the mindset, usually the person who practice meditation, if they do not understand the 50 demon state in the Samgama Sutra, saying they will stuck with it type easily. And that's how the demon control them. This is crazy. And that is scary. So in Buddhism, this is how the Buddha, well, this is how the Buddha, in Buddhism we said, I'd rather do not know Buddhism, just be a normal person for 100 years, right? Rather than to have the wrong view in one day. Because that wrong view of one day is good enough to put us into the 3 evil realms. So the wrong view is the most dangerous thing. Not many people understand the difference between right view and wrong view. Not too many. Even they practice very much. Doesn't mean that they have the right view. So when they have the craving, come to see those people, because they do not have the right view, it's very tough for them to break away from those people. So that's why it's not easy for us to have the right view, because you remember stream enter, right? The first state of Arhat. What are the 3 requirements to remove the 3 fetters?
Yeah, so there is like the things that are abandoned, because one is like, isn't it, it's giving up the attachment to these sort of rituals.
Yeah.
That's one of them. I think
the wrong ritual, right?
Yeah. There's I think suppressing of desire begins in the first state of stream enterer.
No, not yet.
It's second state.
Yeah, second state.
Is it, does ill will end in the first state?
Oh no, ill will it's also in the second state.
Second stage too. So it's the rituals. Is it extreme views?
Oh no,
I can't remember the first stage. We went
the
over
view,
this
the
last week.
remove the view of delusion.
The
That means
view-
attach to the five aggregate body itself.
okay.
This is very important.
I thought that was a later stage, but that's the
Oh
first.
no, this is
Okay.
the first stage. We need to do that.
Mhm.
The second one is the ritual. The third one is the Tao.
Yeah, okay.
Now it means that when come to the truth or the Buddha teaching, the Dharma, this person always have Tao. That Tao is very dangerous. You remember the six fundamental affliction. This is one of the six. Greed, hatred, ignorance, arrogant, Tao, and the evil view. The five evil view, right? But they call it evil view. So now is very dangerous. If we have now in the proper way to understand the Dharma, it's okay. But everything we have now, and we do not have the right view, this is dangerous. Because it's an obstacle of the path. We cannot practice when we have Tao. So the person who have the right view, automatically the Tao will go. Right?
Mhm.
Okay, we over. Okay, now we can stop here. I think we are over now. So
Oh, yeah.
that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, William.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If peoples hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I will see you next week.
Thank you, Tay. Appreciate it.